at the amount of coordination that was occurring there in that little office in Denton, Texas, with the coordination between the state agencies and the federal agencies, and that was much earlier in the sequence, but they were doing a great job understanding what each other were doing, and so that there was a minimal of duplication and people weren't getting in each other's way. But the critical need was getting to the people that needed the help. But this is going to go, make no mistake, this is going to go on. This is not a days or weeks phenomenon, and as we saw with when you saw with Sandy, we saw with Katrina, we saw with Ike, this is going to be a years in recovery process. And clearly, as you've reported this morning, unfortunately, some people will never recover, and that is a tragedy.
And look, we'll have to do a little bit of a wait and see, as agonizing as it is, see what happens when the waters recede, see what the actual state of play and the reality is. But at some point, you're going to have to put on the hard hat, get back into Washington, D.C., and make it happen, not just in this first wave of need. The concern becomes the politics that comes into play in that second, that third wave, when the money is needed. That's where we saw the problems with Sandy funding. You didn't vote for one of those big bills. Politics started to be played. You had people like Senator Cruz, misstating the facts, saying 2/3 of the bill was pork. You know it's not true. How do we avoid it this time?
Well, I think, number one, I think the approach, every storm is different. The approach this time is going to be for immediate help. That won't be the entire tally. You can't even know what the where the price tag is going to end up. But there will be immediate help. We are at sort of at the end of the fiscal year, so the accounts for the various agencies are spent down as they should be at the end of the fiscal year. So there'll be some immediate help that will likely come as early next week. And I really don't think I don't think that will be necessarily a hard discussion or a hard vote.
That's just the first wave, though. I'm saying, what can you say to your fellow Republicans who didn't vote for it? A lot of them are in the administration now.
You're going to see, after that first wave, clearly there will be data collected and there'll be evidence presented. And as far as the cost of recovery, I think it will be that will be better known in 2.5, 3 months' time. And I rather suspect, I don't know what the time sequence will be, but there will be a secondary wave of federal dollars that are appropriated, and likely as not, there will be a third wave.
Sure.
It's tough because with Katrina, came in, did a big bill, and then did another big bill, and then years later found that unfortunately they couldn't spend all of the dollars that were sent. So that has been a concern of mine as well. I want to be certain that the help gets where it's needed, when it's needed. But yeah, we do have a responsibility to be good stewards of the taxpayer dollar, and that's a concurrent responsibility.
Is that why you didn't vote for the Sandy financing?
I thought Sandy should have been broken into at least two tranches. It wasn't. I didn't win that argument, but as we learned with Katrina, there were funds that were available but then never spent. There was in fact, I think DHS ended up taking back several $1 billion from FEMA that were unable to be spent. With Sandy, it was a different situation, but I think to anyone's read of the facts currently, there is still a significant amount of money that's either unobligated or unspent.
It's always that way.
As you know,
it's always that way. Every one of these disasters that we've been through, it takes time to spend the money and the needs change.
Yeah, but Chris, it has been 5 years, and as you know, there are people who, I think, probably legitimately feel that they were owed some reimbursement, who've had difficulty getting it. I mean, I am not now, but I mean years after Katrina, trying to help people who felt they had a legitimate claim that was not being paid. These things are difficult. I think my opinion has always been, number one, I'd like to see us budget for disasters rather than come and do supplementals after the fact. In fact, when I was just a regular guy and they had big flooding in the upper Mississippi back in the early part of the Clinton administration, why isn't there a fund there that is appropriated just for that is then used as that first response? They didn't do it then. We don't do it now. I don't quite understand why, But given the fact that we have to do supplementals and everyone is different, but my preference is always, can we put this into more manageable portions? And look, we're tasking our federal agencies right now at the max. So to ask them to do everything that they need to do with all of the bookkeeping and reimbursement, that's a tall order too.
Well,
but I think it's more manageable if the money goes out, perhaps less in that lump sum variety.
Look, I mean, you got to err on the side of giving them more right now because the need is so great. The good news is because of what happened during Sandy, you've got awareness.
And you will see that.
You've got awareness from the GOP
Sandy,
colleagues. That's all I'm saying. We're just hoping it's better this time. We'll see what happens. I don't want to get ahead of the conversation, but we'll see what happens, and hopefully everybody does the right thing.
Well, I think you will see significant activity on this front, really within a very few days' time.
I hope so. I can't believe you didn't come back early. Congressman, thank you very much. Be well and stay safe. All right, Allison, to you.
Chris, we are just moments away from federal officials briefing us on what they're doing today to help all of the people who were in the path of Harvey. So we will bring that to you live as soon as it begins.
And these are the ones. Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Honey. At our house, we need things that are built to last. That's why we got a Subaru.
Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Get 0% APR financing for 63 months. All new 2017 Legacies ends August 31st.
I have asthma, one of many pieces in my life. So when my asthma symptoms kept coming back on my long-term control medicine, I talked to my doctor and found a missing piece in my asthma treatment with Brio.
Once daily Brio prevents asthma symptoms. Brio's for adults with asthma not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Brio won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. Brio is specifically designed to open up airways to improve breathing for a full 24 hours. Brio contains a type of medicine that increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Brio is not for people whose asthma is well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Brio and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Brio more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor if 24-hour Brio could be a missing piece for you. See if you're eligible to pay no more than $10 a month.
With the TouchNote app, you can send your favorite photos as real postcards direct from your smartphone.
Hey, Mom, Sophie's first picture of you. How flattering. Love, Emma.
Simply choose your photo, write a message, and tap send. It's so quick and easy, and we mail the very next day. Go ahead, surprise someone you love. Download the app now or visit touchnote.com.
You do all this research on a perfect car, then smash it into a tree. Your insurance company raises your rates. Maybe you should have done more research on them.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Switch and you could save $782 on home and auto insurance. Call 1-888-776-2147 for a free quote today. Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Okay, recording. I know John Sununu. I respect him. He'll be a governor New Hampshire can be proud of. I hope I said his name right. I'd never said it. Sununu? Why the hell isn't his name?
Crank it up.
Find your edge in life. Join today for as low as $9.99 a month. Visit us online at theedgefitnessclubs.com.
These days, families want to be connected 24/7. That's why at Comcast, we're continuing to make our services more reliable than ever. With technology that can update itself. An advanced fiber network infrastructure. New, more reliable equipment for your home.